The Ambitious Africans podcast is building more than conversations. We're building a thinking community. If you're navigating a challenge, transition, or decision in your personal or professional journey, we invite you to share it with us using the link below. Selected reflections will be discussed in future episodes where other listeners will offer their perspective, insights, and lived experiences. This is not about having it all figured out. It's about learning out loud, hearing different viewpoints, and lightening the mental load by thinking together. Your submission can be anonymous, and the goal is perspective, not judgment. Go into the show notes below, fill out the form, and share your challenges, ideas, thoughts, and decision points with us, and we'll be more than happy to give you some directions. Dear ambitious African, this is your host, Secho. In this podcast, we will discuss everything about our journeys and experiences towards achieving our goals for life and work as phenomenal change leaders in our varied communities. We will feature other ambitious Africans crushing it through arts, social activism, tech innovations, entrepreneurship, and positive lifestyle and holistic well-being. We are the generation that is redefining Africa as we know it, and as an ambitious African, now is the time to get involved. Give us your feedback and ideas for our next podcast, and let's keep the conversations going. See you inside. Hello, good day. I hope you're having an amazing day wherever in the world you're listening to me from. Okay, today has been a good day for me. I feel like I'm having very good days these past days, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for life. I'm grateful for the opportunity to spend this time with you. I value your time. I value you. And so this moment right here is so important to me. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope the sound is better now. I wanted to share so much today, but I'm going to stick to one topic that I mentioned in my previous episode I was going to talk about. It's titled Talented in the Trenches. Ooh, it's a good title. It's called Talented in the Trenches, and I had written something down. I'm going to read to you, and maybe we can have a little discussion about it when I'm done. So I'll start now. Not many people talk about how deeply difficult it can be to truly find or even accept yourself when you're growing up with big talent in a place that feels too small for you. Whether you were raised in poverty or within systems that suppress self-expression, there's an internal conflict that's hard to name. You're smart, ambitious, and wildly talented. You feel it. You know there's greatness in you. You don't need anyone to convince you. And yet, in your younger years, you bottled all of them up. You have also battled with a question that has haunted you since. If I'm this gifted, why am I still here? You might have thought talented people were meant to be celebrated, to rise, to shine, and to be in powerful spaces. So why are you living in a dusty, forgotten place? Why do you wake up in a reality that feels completely out of alignment with a vision you hold in your heart? It messes with your head. It creates an unbearable pressure because you're not just talented. You know you are talented, and you carry the weight of that knowledge like a burden, terrified that your gift will go to waste, that you'll become, in air quotes, just another smart one who never made it out. You look around and see others like you, bright minds, and yet with unrealized dreams, and the fear creeps in. What if I become one of them? That's the part no one talks about, and that's who I'm speaking to. Because being smart isn't enough. Being talented isn't enough. If you don't have someone to guide you, someone who understands what it means to carry brilliance in broken places, you can get stuck. There are spoken rules about success, but there are also unspoken rules. And when you grow up without access, without exposure, without a mentor who sees you clearly, you can't just follow the obvious steps. You have to build a whole new framework. This is where imposter syndrome sneaks in. You walk into rooms you once dreamed of, and then suddenly, your intelligence doesn't feel like enough. You realize it takes more than being smart. It takes a kind of training, exposure, confidence, and a cultural fluency you weren't given. So you start to doubt yourself. You question your talent. You even wonder if you imagined the greatness in the first place. But you didn't. You're not broken. You're not crazy. You're just operating in a world that wasn't built with you in mind. And that's exactly why I'm here. This is, I would say, version 1 of the Talented in Trenches conversation. And I don't even know what the other versions are going to look like, but I'm trusting God to guide us in this conversation because it's such an important conversation that needs to be had, especially if you grew up in a slum. I've come on here, one of the very first episodes on this podcast was talking about what it means to grow up in a slum. And over the years, I've seen how that same conversation has manifested in different ways. Because as you're growing and you know you have greatness in your heart and you can't possibly find your way, you're struggling to wade your way to realize it, you start to doubt the greatness in the first place. You start to doubt yourself. You start to shake it. All the things that you once held strong and founded in your belief. And that's because we've also learned and assimilated a narrative that wasn't really true. If there's something I have learned about being talented in the trenches, it's the fact that it is the high price people like us pay for resilience. Being in the trenches is the high price, especially if you're talented, is a high price you pay for the resilience. Now, resilience is a great skill everybody should have, and people pay different prices for that quality. It's like saying there are different schools you could go to for a degree, and they all come with different price tags and different admission requirements or criteria. And so when I say being talented in the trenches is a high price you pay for your version of resilience, I'm saying you could have learned resilience in any other way, but it just so happens that this is really objectively one of the highest prices it's pegged at in the world. And it's not because of anything you might have done or anything you might not have done. The truth of the matter is sometimes for most people who were born in these slums, inner cities, low income communities, the hard truth is that you were born to parents who lived in those areas. That is the hard truth. And so the choice of your parents is where the conversation starts. And you couldn't have done anything about it. And that is what systemic change, when we talk about systemic change happening and moving these things, that's what we talk about, because there are layers to poverty and access to opportunities, or rather the inaccess to opportunities, that we don't fully unpack because for some reason there's just a disconnect between fully understanding the depth of the experience and the nuance in designing solutions around it. And that is something I am super passionate about. But today I want to make space for what it feels like to be talented in the trenches. If you're somebody who's feeling like that, I want to encourage you to not stop dreaming and not stop daring. When I talk about designing your own framework, it might look like placing more emphasis on some things that people might take so for granted. Mentorship is one of your biggest leverages. Do the inner work, do the character work, do the self-presentation work, do the eloquence work, do the speech work, do the literacy work, do the expansion of mind work to prepare you to be able to access different classes of mentorship that money couldn't have got you. Because what that for me looked like was a couple of years ago. This was in 2019 or 2018. Prior to that, a few years. So let me backtrack. In 2015, 2014-ish, I was on the TEDx Accra team. So one of my jobs was coaching speakers who would give their TED Talks here. So, I mean, I'm still in this sort of community bubble. And by 2019, I saw an email that, there was this event happening in one of the prestigious universities in Ghana. And whoever would want to attend, there are like 2 or 3 tickets. I was like, I go do a research about this event. I'm like, okay, I'd love to attend. Can I get a ticket? And then one of the TED organizers sent me an email that actually they were tickets that were given to the CEO of an organization, and she wanted to create that access for someone else who might want to attend to be able to come with her. And so she was willing to meet with whoever would get the tickets and go with them to the event in her car, like drive them there and back. I'm like, that's so kind. Like, that's really cool. I would love a ticket, really. So I get a ticket, I meet up with the CEO, and on the drive to the university campus and eventually the event, we're having all these conversations. She's asking me about myself. She's asking me about what I'm doing, what I'm studying in school, and other things, yes? And I'm telling her, and then I'm asking her all these questions. And she just struck me as such an amazing person. So we go to the event, and apparently she had come with another person from her team, and then myself and another gentleman. I think the only 2 people volunteered to get the ticket. So it was just myself, the guy, the CEO, and then one person from her team. And then we go to these events. I'm meeting amazing people from different parts of the world. Apparently it's an international event that they're hosting a version of in Ghana. So I'm meeting all these people, having these conversations. And throughout the events, the CEO and her teammates or her colleague, I think one of her managers, they're like urging me on to speak to people, and we're having these conversations, and they'll check in with me. How am I? And I'm like, that entire experience was really nice. On our way back, she asks me, what was my experience? How did I feel about the event? And I'm telling her all these things. And I didn't realize that would be one of the life-defining moments for me in my life, because later on, when I was looking for an internship, I would Google this lady, Google the organization she worked with, and see so many alignments with the work I was doing at the time and all the community work I was doing back home in Ashaiman, in Ghana at the time. And I would see so many ways I could learn from her. So I didn't care. I didn't care whether I was going to get the opportunity or not, but I sent them an email, told them I'm leaving. I have, these couple of weeks as school is going on vacation. I'd love to intern with your company. And I get into this opportunity to do the internship. I I apply myself because again, by this time I've already done the character work, I've done the eloquence work, I've done the work. I apply myself, do the internship, still in contact with this lady, and I get to be up close with her. I get to work directly with her and I get to learn directly with her from her. And I will never forget how after the internship, I was so convinced I wanted to be like her. I wanted to lead like her. I wanted to be a CEO of her kind, not just a CEO for the sake of it, but like the kind of CEO that she was, the kind of leader that she was or she is. Because there was a way she flowed through life that was so peaceful, calm, and yet very strong and yet very powerful. I learned so much from her that when I needed another place to do my national service, which is one of the youth service schemes in Ghana, when you're done with university, I went back to the organization to tell them, would you take me? Would you give me the opportunity to serve with the organization? And that gave me an extra year of working closely with her, this time as her PA. So I worked with her as a PA and then as a programs assistant with her specifically, and then the Ghana edition or the Ghana branch of the organization. Now, her name is Elizabeth Elango, and I will never ever take for granted the impact she's had on my life. I don't know if she's ever going to listen to this episode or to this podcast, but wherever Elizabeth is, Elizabeth Elango, formerly of Junior Achievement Africa, J Africa, I want to say meeting you at such a critical time in my life and in a critical time in my career was one of the biggest blessings that I could ever ask for, because it sets the tone for the kind of person I wanted to be in corporate and with work. I have never moved through life the same way since encountering. I'm really grateful I met you very early in my career to give me a representation of what a fulfilling career could look like, in a way that wasn't forceful, wasn't burnt out. It was just it's just so fluid, and that I can't find the words, and yet so serene, so scenic, and yet so strong and powerful. And so I want to highlight why mentorship as one of the ways you can rebuild and redesign your own framework to becoming beyond talented in the trenches is such a powerful way to do it. This year, I know you've heard about mentorship. I want you to first do a cross analysis of yourself to make it easier for you to be mentored. Make it easier for your prospective mentor to say yes, they want to mentor you. Until then, find people online from afar that you can study their work. You can listen to their content. You can watch their content. You can engage with things they're sharing online. You can attend their event. If you even have the money to pay for the things that they're organizing, like do it, invest so that you can learn from them. So by the time you're really ready to get somebody to have a close mentorship relationship with you, it would be so easy. I've had so many mentors across my journey in so many capacities. And currently, as I record this, I have one dedicated mentor who I keep in touch with every single week. And I couldn't have gotten where I am in my career, in my life, in my thought processes, in my analysis of things without having this rare opportunity to borrow from people's experiences and borrow from their intelligence way ahead of me. So if you are talented in the trenches, I hope this helps you feel seen. But beyond helping you feel seen, it helps you feel equipped to do the work as much as you can and to go out there to seek the mentorship and the support you need. Sometimes it may look like sending cold emails to people, telling people in your circles to introduce you to another person to make it possible. But I hope this helps you so much. But do not let go of that dream. You know what? Keep holding on to that dream, because that dream is going to hold you to higher standards for life. It's going to determine what you would condone as the life quality you want for yourself, and it's going to also expand your definition of what is possible. So keep going, take advantage of the opportunities as they come, even if they are not so clear going forward. Follow the interest, follow the things that are showing up externally that are just piquing your interest, and let that thread lead you where only belief and faith can take you. Like I said, this is version 1. I don't know when version 2 or other versions of this Talented in the Trenches series, if it's even going to be a series, is going to happen. But I hope this helps, and I hope you feel seen and equipped, and most importantly, empowered to do big things. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.